Hey friends, happy Thursday, the 27th of March. It's nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I'll share with you a reflection on the daily readings. The readings are linked below. Click that link, read the readings prayerfully, and then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. Hey, remember, we do have Stations of the Cross and fish dinners on Friday, if those are of assistance to you. We have readings from the prophet Jeremiah and from Luke's gospel today. The prophet Jeremiah, we have a verb in English. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Jeremiad, or maybe that's an adjective, right? Like that's a homily or a sermon or a speech that really gets after people. And so we see that in Jeremiah today as well, getting after people. And especially it's about not listening and disobedience. And, remember, obedience, yeah, sure, it's about external observance, but obedience is so much more. It's about internal transformation, listening well with the ears of the heart and allowing ourselves to be changed as a result of that encounter, to allow our own attitudes and values and way of looking at the world become different and new because of having listened deeply to another. And that's what Jeremiah is criticizing the people for, is that they didn't listen to the voice of God, right? This is what I commanded my people. Listen to my voice. And I'm mindful yesterday, we had reading of the gift of the law and how good the law is. We can get hung up on the law. We can lose sight that at its heart, it's about relationship and it's about listening to the voice of God. And it's the same thing with the moral law. We can lose sight of listening to the Lord. That's what God desires, is for us to listen. Then I will be your God and you will be my people. Then you will walk in the ways that I have taught you and commanded you. I know that I say it every single day that I shoot a video. Turn the screen off. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things, like silence, quiet, sitting there by ourselves. I don't know about you, but it can be really hard for me. One of the hardest things I do. But to just listen to what God's wanting to do. Silence can be so important, so how is it that we hear God in the church, hear God in the community of faith, hear God in our loved ones, hear God in our own lives and experiences, hear God in the sacred scriptures? How is it that we hear God in these ways? Listen. The gospel. This is a convoluted story, but it ultimately is about people that are criticizing Jesus, saying that he is bringing freedom through the power of Satan, Beelzebul. And Jesus points out to them, the only way that I'm bringing liberation is because I'm stronger than Satan. This isn't Satan's power. This is something stronger than Satan. And to see the way that God acts in this world by bringing healing and liberation and new life and grace and love and unity and harmony, we can get hung up as Christian people of saying, if it isn't expressly Christian, it's not from God. And we can get hung up because we say, well, this person is expressly Christian, therefore the way that they're acting is perfectly fine. And it's right? There are ways that people who do not know Christ are acting in harmony with God. In the same way that Cyrus took care of Jewish folks, even though Persia was not the way that others encountered God, right? So God can use surprising ways and surprising people to bring activity into this world. And we can be just as much allied against Jesus if we say, well, this is clearly the power of Satan because it's not the way that I understand the God of the Christians to work. Where are we struggling to see the hand of God, the action of God, the finger of God in ways that might surprise us these days? Listen to God active in the world. Listen to God who challenges us to grow beyond our usual categories. Read those readings prayerfully. Turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. Pray for peace in this world. Pray for folks that are having a hard time. God bless y'all.